यन्माया वशवर्ति विश्वमखिलम् ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्तत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलम् रज्जौ यथा हिर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवान् बोधे स्थितिर्षावधाम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरम् रामाख्यमीशं हरिम् शान्तं शाश्वतमप्रमेयमनघम् निर्वाणशान्तिप्रदम् ब्रह्माशम्भुफणीन्द्रसेव्यमनिशम् वेदान्तवेद्यं विभुम् रामाख्यं जगदीश्वरं सुरगुरुम् मायामनुष्यं हरिम् वन्देऽहं करुणाकरं रघुवरं भूपालचूडामणिम् नान्यास्पृहा रघुपते हृदये स्मदीये सत्यं वदामि च भवानखिलान्तरात्मा भक्तिं प्रयच्छ रघुपुङ्गवनिर्भरामि कामादिदोषरहितं कुरु मानसं च अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यम् सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशम् रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि हरिः ओम्। Hari Om everyone. Welcome to our final episode of the Mahima of Hanumanji. It's not the end, it's just a pause though. Shri Ramacharitamanasa never finishes. So we'll be back in another way, don't worry. What we've seen from the beginning till now, we have been on a beautiful trek together. And it started on the scenic mountain tops of Rishamukh Parvat, where Bhakta met Bhagwan for the first time at meeting of Hanumanji and Bhagwan Sri Rama. We followed their journey all the way through the kingdom of Kishkinda and through that Aranya, that forest, all the way to the tip of India at Rameshwaram. We continued with Bhagwan Hanumanji on his journey as he leapt into Lanka, and now we are on our way back. We are about to come full circle, and this is where our journey will pause for some time. Today, it will culminate in Kishkinda with that conversation between Hanumanji and Bhagwan Sri Rama when he reveals all that he has, when all is revealed about what he has achieved in doing Ramakaja, Bhagwan's work. So let us enter into this final episode and see the beauty of how it all culminates. So today, we begin by drawing a parallel between Smriti and Itihasa. There are concepts within Srimad Bhagavad Gita that are mapped directly onto what we see extolled in a much more elaborate manner in Sri Ramacharitamanasa. Bhagavad Gita is as though the short form, the script, and Ramayana becomes the entire play enacted. There's one shloka in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita which reflects the mental mindset of the situation which we're about to see next in Sundarkand. In second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says to Arjuna, he says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. He says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. There, Bhagavan says, O Dhananjaya, Arjuna, perform actions, kuru karmani, but abandoning all attachment in those actions, sangam tyakta. And how are we to do this? He says, be steadfast in yoga, yoga staha, kuru karmani. Be in union with me while you act. Means hands may be transacting right here amongst all circumstances, but mind is deep within, in union with that divinity. In Vibhishana Gita of Sri Ramacharitamanasa, which will come a bit later in Sundarkand, there Bhagavan Sri Rama cautions as to this type of situation also, and he advises beautifully on this same concept. There in Vibhishana Gita are given 10 relations in life, and these are representative of Ishana Traya, of these three attachments, Lokeshana, Vitteshana, and Putreshana, are attachments to name, wealth, family. These 10 relations given there are, Bhagavan says, relations to mother, father, brother, son, wife, body, wealth, house, friend, and work relations, etc. These 10 ties of affection and accomplishment, they bind a man, Bhagavan says. But he also reveals, he says, the pious soul, that genuinely striving sadhaka, he gathers up all of these bonds as though there are many threads extending out from him, connecting him to all of these relations and circumstances. He gathers them up and he twists them all into one thick rope by which he binds his mind and heart to my feet. Means that his hands may be working here, transacting with those same people in those same circumstances, engaging all of those same relations, but mind and heart is there with Bhagwan. The same concept that there in Ramacharitamanasa is given Sankshipta in half a pada in Bhagavad Gita in the words Yoga Staha Kuru Karmani. That while acting amongst all of your attachments, Kuru Karmani, Yoga Staha, be in union with me. Tie that bond of your heart to me while you are doing this. The same sentiments of Vibhishana Gita are reflected there in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And it shows that when a mind stands binded to the right locus when acting, then what happens? Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Then it becomes very easy to give up attachment, actually. Because I realized that I was not attached to these people anyway. It doesn't mean you don't love them, but love does not have to have attachment. In fact, the attachment aspect is what makes love unhealthy. If we can be detached in our love, then we can give so much more freely of ourselves without expecting in return. So, this type of love and understanding where my attachment should really be when I transact, this is actually a much healthier way to transact with those and people in our life. That my attachment is to the Lord and they are providing the medium for that attachment. And with that, then, what attachment is really there? With this understanding now of my correct relation to them, Bhagavan says, this one, his mind now becomes equanimous. In Sri Ramacharitamanasa, he says, he looks upon them with equanimity. He has no cravings. His mind is free from joy, grief, and fear. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan summarizes that whole idea saying, Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva. That he remains sama balanced, whether he's transacting with them or not, whether he loses them or not, in success and failure. Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva. The culminating point of both these chaupais, Sri Ramacharitamanasa, and that shloka of Bhagavad Gita is what? Bhagavan Sri Rama says, Samadarasi icha kachunahi. Samadarasi icha kachunahi. Harsha soka bhaya nahi manamahi. अस सज्जन मम उरबस कैसे लोभी हृदय बसहि तनु जैसे. He says that one who has now achieved that equanimity of mind, no cravings, balanced in the pairs of opposites, such a holy one abides in my heart. Such a holy one now has union with me, Bhagavan Sri Rama says. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Samatvam yoga uchyate. That equanimity of mind in that balanced one, that achieves yoga, union with me through that. Yoga or that union with Paramatma. So see the amazing similarity between Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Sri Ramacharitamanasa in bringing out what really is yoga, union with the highest. What is Bhagavan telling us through these shlokas? It means if we want equanimity, if we want that peace of mind in all of our transactions in life, in all of our circumstances, then Bhagavan in two avatars are revealing to us the means of achieving this. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he says, Sangam Tyaktva, Dhananjaya. In Sri Ramacharitamanasa, he says, Samadarasi Icha Kachunahi. Means he's urging us to explore what is the driver, what is the prompter that drives your actions in life. Is it Icha, as said in Sri Ramacharitamanasa? Is it Sangha, that is, as is said in Bhagavad Gita? Ichhan Sangha, desire and attachment. Number one, is this what is driving me? My desire to achieve something, my attachment to my relatives and my people that I need to achieve these things to help them. Is it Ichha and Sangha that is my prompter in life? One. Or second, is it Dharma? It is my duty to do and achieve all of these things for the good of those around, and therefore I will do it. This is better. The second one is a better mindset. So the first one, driven by Ichha and Sangha, by desire and attachment, he's Mana Pradhana, means he's controlled by the emotional mind. But this one who is prompted by dharma, he is buddhi pradhana. He lets his intellect guide. He lets dharma go in front. Or am I the third type of person who is prompted by a third means? Like Hanumanji, is my prompter something beyond mind and intellect, beyond ichha and dharma, meaning Ishvara Praniti, love for Bhagwan. Have I twisted all of these roles of dharma and ichha in my life and have I binded it to his feet? Means sangam tyaktva, ichha tyaktva, dharma tyaktva iva api. Because now attachment, desires, and even dharma have paled into insignificance. Because now my sole purpose for acting has become my Bhagwan. Yoga stha. In union with him, Kuru Karmani, I now act. In fact, even I am not acting when I come to understand that because Bhagavan himself becomes the actor, the action and the results of those actions also. Success and failure pale into oblivion at that point. Siddhya siddhyau samo bhutta. This is tamatvam. And this is what we see as we enter into this prasanga. That when Hanumanji and the troops are now returning back from Lanka, they're now returning back from knowing the location of Sitama, and they are greeted by Sugriva with such great accolades, so many compliments and praise. And Sugriva says, "Come, let us go to Bhagavan Sri Rama now and inform him of Hanumanji's, along with all of your stupendous achievements." What is the mindset of Hanumanji in this scenario? Hanumanji remains absolutely quiet. He's thinking to himself, and that's Samatva Buddhi, that Bhagwan, what have I really achieved? What is there amongst all of this that was not you already, my Lord? Samatvam. Because Hanumanji lived in the essence of yoga, of union. This Lakshana of Hanumanji, to be getting all of these praises from the king himself, from Sugriva, and remain in that Samatva Buddhi. This Siddhasya Lakshanani Sadhakasya Sadhanani. This is the quality that we have to learn from Hanumanji. This needs to become our sadhana now. But this quality of samatvam, that ability we've left for last, because this one is probably the hardest one for us all to achieve. This one alone we will focus on today. Because to remain balanced, success and failure, okay. But to remain balanced in loss, in grief, in failure, we all know how difficult that becomes. Hanumanji throughout, no matter what faced him, he was able to achieve this. This is the most challenging one, no doubt, Samatva Buddhi. But as always, Hanumanji will beautifully share his secret with us of how to achieve this one. And here he's telling us only extreme love for Bhagwan is going to earn us this one. So let's see how this episode unfolds. So Doha 29 of Sundarkand now we look at. It says, प्रीति सहित सब भेंट प्रीति सहित सब भेंटे रघुपति करुणा पुंज पूछे कुशल नाथ कुशल तेख पद कंज जाम्बवंत कहु सुनु रघुराया जा पर नाथ करहु तुम दाया ताहि सदा शुभ कुशल निरंतर सुर नर मुनि प्रसन्नता पर सोई विजयी विनयी जनु सागर तासु सुजसु त्रैलोक उजागर प्रभु की कृपा भयउ सब काजू जन्म हमार सुफल माजू नाथ पवन सुत कीन्ही जो करनी सहसहु मुख न जाई सो बरणी पवन तनय के चरित सुहाय जाम्बवंत रघुपति सुनाय सुनत कृपा निधि मन अति भाय पुनि हनुमान हर्षि हिय लाए कहु तात के भांति जानकी रहती करती रक्षा स्वप्राण की नाम पाहरु दिवस निसी ध्यान तुम्हार कपाट लोचन निज पद गंत्रत जाहि प्राण के ही भाट यावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. It says, as they now approached with Sugriva to Bhagavan Sri Rama to tell them of what had unfolded on their journey. It said the all merciful Sri Raghunath, upon seeing them, he embraced all of them, all of the soldiers, with such affection, and he inquired after their well being with genuine concern and compassion. In reciprocation of his benevolence came the humble reply from Jambavanshi. He said, Ja Paranatha Karahu Tumha Daya, Tahi Sadha Subha Kusala Nirantara. He said, Oh Bhagavan, whomever you bestow your blessing on, they will certainly achieve their goal and be eternally happy. But Lord, of all of us whom you have blessed, there is one who is very special here. He said, Nath Pavana Sutha Keen Hijo Karani. Sahasahu Mukha Na Jai So Bharani. That's Sahasa Mukha. That even 1,000 tongues cannot describe the achievements of Hanumanji. That even the most prolific of orators cannot do justice to what Hanumanji has achieved, Bhagwan. But Jambanji humbly says, let me attempt, Bhagwan, to relate these charming exploits of Hanumanji. As Jambanji spoke of the gargantuan accomplishments of Hanumanji, he spoke of his unparalleled leap across the entire ocean to Lanka. His conquering of all four obstacles on his path there, Mainaka, Surasa, Simhika, Lankini, all the gunas transcended. His interface was not one but two sons of the king, both of Ravana's son, including the crown prince, Brahmastra and all. He continued even into the story of his interface with Ravana himself, where with such poise and such caliber, Hanumanji was able to be a true representative and envoy of the Lord, worthy of that designation. As Bhagavan Sri Rama heard this narration as it proceeded, his heart swelled with so much delight. It said, Sunata Kripa Nidhi Mana Ati Bhai Puni Hanumana Rishi here lie. That Bhagwan, on hearing all of this, he became so overwhelmed with love for Hanumanji that he clasped Hanumanji. He embraced him to his bosom. Bhagwan was so happy. Hanumanji is there, overwhelmed also, but in such samatvam, so peaceful in all of it. See, Hanumanji did not only have internal yoga, union with Bhagwan, but even physically, Bhagwan wanted to hold him in his embrace, one with him. Imagine the blessing to have earned the physical embrace of the Lord Himself. This was Hanumanji's lot. And through all of it, he is Samatvam. That as Jambavanji went on praising him over and over, Hanumanji did not speak a word. He teaches us one thing here. We don't need to speak of our glories. What happens to us? The minute that we achieve something, we can't wait. We run straight to our family, call our parents, rush to our partner, tell all of our friends, oh my God, you cannot believe what we achieved today. We can't wait to speak of which account we landed, how I impressed my boss, which exam I aced, which promotion I got, everything we want, which respected person in society had praised me today. We can't wait to open our mouth. What is Hanumanji showing us here? We waste our internal bliss when we spew it thoughtlessly in extrovertness. Samatvam. Even something as simple as an introduction. We have to observe our minds. When someone introduces us to someone else, see how that mind acts up, see how it listens. If they don't mention my husband's profession, or if they don't mention my profession, if they don't mention that I'm the parent of that well achieved person that they've heard of, then what happens? I feel slighted. And after that, When I say, yes, nice to meet you, I find a way to interject into the conversation and integrate that thing in there also. They have to know. See how our mind works. Samatvam? No samatvam. Hanumanji is showing us you don't need to speak of your own glory. Because if it is deserving, others will do it for you. Like Hanumanji, all we have to do in all humility, we just keep to our dharma. Do your duties diligently for the Lord. And in yourself, in your heart of hearts, you know your worth. If others know it or not, it doesn't matter. My Bhagwan knows. It is Samatva Buddhi. You be your own best person for you, not for anyone else. In life, circumstances come. Your dharma, for example, is to be a dutiful wife. Bhagavan has placed you in that role, not your husband. Remember that you did not become a wife because you married your husband, huh? You became a wife because Bhagavan decided this is the best role for you right now in life, for your spiritual unfoldment. And the minute that we look at life from this perspective, then that marriage becomes prasada buddhi, that I see it as a gift from Bhagavan. And then every act that I do after that is to try to do justice to the role that Bhagwan has bestowed on me. It becomes Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, that I offer it back to the Lord, not to your husband. You do not do all of these things to be a good wife to your husband, actually. We do it because Bhagwan has chosen this thing for me, and I want to do what's best for my Bhagwan. I want him to be proud of me. See, when we act, and we offer it to Bhagwan, there's a certain peace. If we act and we offer it to the husband or to the children, there's an expectation. That they will have to, I have done nice for them. Will they compliment me back? I have done so much for them. Do they appreciate me? These questions come up. Do we ever ask, does Bhagwan appreciate me? And never. Inherently, you see, when we do it for others, there's expectation. But when we do it for Bhagwan, there's a peace in that thing that you know the right thing will come to you after. That samatvam will come in the action when we offer it in this manner. Second scenario, which will play into all of our lives, that child that has come into our life. That child has come into your life to bring you closer to God. Many of us think our children are born to us and it's our role to take them to God. We have to put them in Balvihar. We have to make sure we teach them principles. And this is part of the duty. That's your role in their life. Do you stop to think what is their role in your life? Those children are there to bring you to God. They become your medium. We have to remember in life that I am not doing anyone any favors. I have to humble myself and realize that every single person that has come into our lives are doing each of us a favor. It is not that I am helping them. They are helping me actually. And whether they lift me through inspiration or they build me through challenge, whichever way it goes, we should never be conceited in thinking we are doing for them. That I helped them and therefore they could achieve. That how will this family or this business run without me? It will run just fine, actually. Bhagwan will put someone else there and it will still achieve. Never think you're irreplaceable in this bhava with ego in this way. Because if you think of the laws of karma siddhanta, if that business is meant to achieve, and so many jivas are there, 5, 10, 20, 50 people are there in that business who are meant to get success, that is their prarabdha. They have done actions to deserve success. And therefore, whether you are the boss and you are the one who is facilitating that success, even if you're not there, Bhagwan will find someone else because it's not you who's bringing that success. Their karmas of what they did before have dictated that they deserve success. So whether you are there or not, that success will be given to them. We should never think we are the one facilitating these things. Everyone's karma gives its own result. When we remember these things, it humbles us down. That Lord, you alone have done everything, and you alone will deliver the results of the actions. And I am forever indebted to you, to your mercy, and to your grace, by which all of this was actually achieved. This is how we become Hanumanjis in our lives. The merit can only come into life in two ways. When we act and we gain merits from things. Merit can come in the form of chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. That is what will lead us to that yoga through samattva buddhi. The second way merits can come into our life is through punya, means through happy circumstances, positive happening, tangible achievements, accolades, praise, and so on. Punya comes as visible happiness, that we can see it manifesting in our world. Chitta shuddhi is invisible happiness. It's an internal transformation. Which one of these two do we want? Because merit can only come in one out of these two forms. If we choose the second one, then we want happiness. We want, happy circumstances around. We want to be praised. We want these achievements. And the Lord says, you want that? No problem. You have that. Who wants me? He says, if you want that, you can have it. But that is punya. I come as purity, as chitta shuddhi. Instead, if we work towards the first type of merit, that purity, instead of gaining fulfillment of desires, we aim for internal fulfillment. Then we've given up that ichha towards desire. Sangam tyaktva, ichha tyaktva. And with this, Bhagavan sees our ego has come down. With this, he clasps us to his bosom in yoga, in union. This is called choosing Shreyas over Preyas. We miss the Lord's blessing in life because we trade it up for punya, for our 15 minutes of fame instead. Upanishad says, Shreyascha preyascha manushyametah tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha shreyo hi dhiro bhi preyaso vranite preyo mandho yoga kshemad vranite. And that second vali of Kathopanishad, Shruti Mata says, Shreyascha Preyascha, these two situations will approach us in life, Shreyas and Preyas, the good and the pleasant. He says, the Dhiraha, that wise one only can choose Shreyas. Not the wise one will choose Shreyas, that wise one only is capable of choosing Shreyas. Why? Tau Samparitya, because he has that ability to examine from all sides and diligently vivinakti. He discriminates intelligently between the two. Tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. We have to find the strength in ourselves to bring that dhiraha out, to be that Hanumanji. Hanumanji was who? Veera Maruti Ati Dhira Maruti. He was that dhiraha who had that wisdom to stand by the precincts of what intellect has shown him. This is Shreyas. Have the strength to pursue. Otherwise, Preyo Mando Yoga Kshemat Vrinite. That the Manda Buddhi, the man of inferior intellect, he chooses the pleasant for the sake of his body through avarice and attachment. Bhagavan turns his face to this one. He has too much ego. But the one who has chosen Shreyas, he embraces that one. Bhagavan was so proud at this moment, so happy to see Hanumanji's all of his achievements, all of the praise being given to him now, and how Hanumanji just remained an absolute samatva in all of this. Bhagavan says, this is a true devotee now. I can open my heart to him because his heart is mine already. And now he inquires of Hanumanji directly. And he says, Hanumanji, you've been so quiet in your samatva. Now you speak. I'm giving you the chance now, but not of yourself. I'm going to ask you something even more important. He says, tell me, Hanumanji, of my dear beloved Janaki. How does she feel? The minute Hanumanji hears the name of his mother, Janaki. His heart just wells over. See in these chaupas how Hanumanji expresses. You can see that union between Hanumanji and Sita Ma when he expresses the sentiments of Sita Ma so beautifully to Bhagwan Sri Rama. He says, नाम पाहरु दिवस निसी ध्यान तुम्हार कपाट लोचन निज पद जंत्रित जाहि प्राण के ही बाट अनुज समेत गहेहु प्रभु चरणा दीन बंधु प्रणतारति हरणा मन क्रम वचन चरण अनुरागी के ही अपराध के ही अपराधन नाथ हो त्यागी विरह अगिनी तनु तुल समीरा पास जरहि छन माहि शरीरा नयन स्रवहि जनु निज हित लागी जरे न पावते ह बिरहागी निमिष निमिष करुणा निधि जाहि कलप समबीति बेजि चलिय प्रभु आनिय भुज बल खल दल गिति सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. Hanumanji, with tears in his eyes now, he recounts Sita Ma's state at that moment when he met her. He says, Bhagwan, your name alone keeps watch over her night and day, while her continued thought of you acts as a pair of closed doors. Her eyes are fastened on her own feet, imagining your feet there. And that serves as the lock which keeps the pranas from escaping her body. That's what keeps her life inside. As she looks at her own feet, seeing yours. But when I was leaving, with tears in her eyes, she spoke and she said, deliver these following words to my Bhagwan. She clasped the feet of my lord and his younger brother, crying, O befriender of the distressed, reliever of the suppliant's agony, I am devoted to your feet in thought, word, and deed. But yet, for what offense, my lord, have you forsaken me? She said, I do admit one flaw, that my life did not depart the moment that I was separated from you. However, my lord, the blame for that lies with my eyes. See, the agony of separation from you is like fire, and my sighs fanned it like a gusting wind. My body stands between, like a heap of cotton, which would have been consumed by that fire in an instant. But my eyes, Lord, with their own interest to feast themselves on you once more, they rain a flood of tears. And that is why my body fails to catch fire in this desolation. The beautiful, it's the poetry of Sitama's heart. And see Hanumanji's bhava in relating so perfectly the sentiments of Sita Ma's heart. This is yoga. This is that union when we can tune ourselves to Bhagwan. Says the Bhagwan Sri Rama that each single moment, O fountain of mercy, passes like an age to her, and therefore march quickly, my lord, and vanquish these demons, and by your crew of armies recover your beloved Janaki. She awaits you. When Bhagwan heard these words of Hanumanji, it said tears rushed to his eyes. He could not stand the thought of agony of his Sitama. But his response to Hanumanji here He's a reassurance to all of us. What does he say? He says, Vachana kaya mana mama gati jahi. Tapanehu bhuji abipati ki tahi. He says that kaya mana vachana kaya mana. That thought, word, and deed. He says, do you think anyone, Hanumanji, who depends on me, thought, word, and deed, can ever, even in their dreams, face adversity? He said, externally, they may appear to be going through sorrowful circumstances, and others may need to see this to learn their lesson. But internally, they will never suffer. I will make sure of this. Bhagavan says, the difficult situations must come in life. This is the way of the universe. Prarabdha has to unfold. But we don't have to suffer in the midst of a challenge. That is determined by our internal strength. And if I can retain my internal Satyuga, remember what we discussed last week. If I can retain my internal Satyuga in the midst of Kali, then what surrounds me can never affect. Bhagwan promises. The flip side of it is true. It means that if we are suffering right now, then bachana kaya mana mama gati jai. It means that we have not surrendered to him completely. It means that thought, word, and deed, we are not depending on him. We have to surrender. We are still holding on to prayas somewhere. If that suffering is still coming, let go, Bhagavan. The Sangam Tyakta. But letting go is very hard. We have to try. Bhagavan is so moved by the depth of genuine love which overwhelms Hanumanji as he conveys the sentiments of Sita Ma. Bhagavan is moved by this relentless spirit of Hanumanji to achieve the task that not only securing the location of Sita Ma, but restoring hope to everyone there. He's so moved at the modesty and humility of Hanumanji and doing all of this only out of pure abounding love for Bhagavan. Not only was he able to bring consolation to Sita Ma in her agony, but also to relieve Bhagavan Sri Rama in delivering these messages and achieving all of it, accomplishing all of it with such finesse, such dignity, and such egoless humility. All of this shot straight to the heart of Bhagavan Sri Rama. It's that when Bhagavan heard of all that Hanumanji had achieved, and he saw the heart of Hanumanji when he spoke of Sita Ma, Bhagavan himself was so overwhelmed with emotions. See what Bhagavan says, the final Chaupai and Doha, which I'll just bear with me, 5 more minutes, we'll finish. Final Chaupai and Doha, which we will chant. But it speaks of Bhagavan's bhava when he speaks back to Hanumanji. See what he says here? He says, Sunu kapite hi sama Sunu kapite hi samana upakari nahi kat nahi ko. I'm trying to get my tune now. I've lost it. Sunu kapite hi samana upakari nahi ko sur nar muni tanu dhari prati upakar karau ka tora सन्मुख होई न सकत मन मोरा सुनु सुत तो हिउरी न मैं नाही देखे करी विचार मन माही पुनि पुनि कपि हितव सुरत्राता लोचन निरपुलक अति काता सुनि प्रभु बचन बिलो के मुख जात हर्षि हनुमंत चरण परेउ प्रेमा कुल त्राहि त्राहि भगवंत त्राहि त्राहि भगवंत Hanumanji at that point, humbly expressing Janaki's ma's feelings. Bhagavan looking at him, so much love. Bhagavan looks at Hanumanji and he says, No one, no one in this creation, embodied beings, neither devatas, humans, or sages, have put me under such obligation, Hanumanji, as you have. How can I ever repay you for this obligation? Even if I offer my mind to you, Hanumanji, it will not be enough. He says, Listen, my son, over and over again I have thought on it, and I have concluded that the debt which I owe to you cannot be repaid. It's that again and again Bhagavan just gazed at Hanumanji and his eyes filled with tears, his body overwhelmed. When the Lord Himself can expound these kinds of words about you, He says, No one has ever put me under such obligation. How do I ever repay you? The master of the universe that owns everything, He whom we are indebted to for our very prana, for our life force itself. He owns everything, and he says, I can't find something that I can give to you. What greater mahima of Hanumanji can there ever be anywhere? This is the greatest mahima of Hanumanji. As Hanumanji listens, he becomes overwhelmed with bliss. He falls at Bhagwan's feet crying. He says, save me, trahi, trahi, Bhagavanta. Bhagwan, I can't hear these kind of words coming from you to me. Save me, trahi, trahi, Bhagwan. Again and again, Hanumanji, he fell at Bhagwan's feet. Bhagwan tries to raise him up, but it said he couldn't even lift Hanumanji. So absorbed in love he was, he just fell at Bhagwan's feet and he would not rise. At that moment, Bhagwan Sri Rama places his hand on the head of Hanumanji. At that very moment, Bhagwan Shivaji is recounting the story to Parvati Ma. And it said that Anubhava of Bhagwan Sri Rama's hand on Hanumanji's head. Remember Hanumanji's incarnation of Bhagwan Shivaji himself, the 11th Rudra. Bhagwan feels that Anubhava of Bhagwan Sri Rama's hand on his head as Hanumanji. And it's that he's lost in a trance. So powerful is this situation that the Lord of Dispassion himself, Bhagwan Shivaji, is lost in love. And Bhagwan Shivaji recounts those words of Hanumanji, Trahi, Trahi, save me, Bhagwan. And that Anubhava of the Lord's hand on his head, he goes into meditation. And it's that it takes time for him to pull himself out of this bhava of so much love in order to continue his narration. What greater mahima is there? For me, this episode itself, personally in my heart, is what makes Sundar Kand Ati Sundar. This is where we conclude. And this is the image that I want to leave everyone here with. And even though we leave this prasanga here, let that vision be etched into your mind of Bhagwan Sri Rama with so much love blessing Hanumanji. Hanumanji at his feet, unable to stand, and his hands on the head of Hanumanji. Bhagwan Shivaji watching them from above, lost. And this is where we conclude. Veer Maruti, Gambhir Maruti, Veer Maruti, Gambhir Maruti, Veer Maruti, Gambhir Maruti, Veer Maruti, Gambhir Maruti, वीर मारुति अति धीर मारुति वीर मारुति अति धीर मारुति गीत मारुति संगीत मारुति गीत मारुति संगीत मारुति दूत मारुति दूत मारुति दूत मारुति दूत मारुति भक्त मारुति परम भक्त मारुति भक्त मारुति परम भक्त मारुति वीर मारुति गंभीर मारुति गंभीर मारुति गंभीर मारुति ओम मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगम् जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठम् वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यम् श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Hari Om Jyoti ji, thank you for the wonderful Hanuman Satsang discourse sessions. To everyone, no price can be tagged to the guidance of a guru who offers the seekers to live more thoughtfully. It is our privilege to offer Guru Dakshina after receiving the knowledge of the scriptures. So I'm just going to paste a link. You can all please use that link to give your Guru Dakshina. Thank you once again, Jyoti ji, for all those wonderful Hanuman Satsang discourses.
Hari Om to everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed this journey along with me.
I am.
Jyoti ji, thank you.
So we'll all see.
Jyoti ji, it was so stirring, Jyoti ji. It was just so stirring. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. So we'll take a little pause from Saturday satsangs now. We'll keep you all posted. I know everyone here is on our mailing list, so we'll keep you all posted as to what our next satsang will be. With a little pause we'll take from Saturday satsangs from now. But do join us again as we continue. Hanumanji holds such a special place in my heart, so I think everybody would have figured that out by the end of this. And our journeys will continue together. I really enjoyed. Thank you all for showing up every Saturday. I most enjoyed being able to share my heart with all of you on all of these prasangas. Hari Om to everyone.
We all enjoyed too.
Thank you, Manu Amma.
Yeah, great.
Hari Om, Jyoti ji. Hari Om. I'm waiting for everyone to go. I'm not signing out, so you all take your time.
Thank you.